Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Origosis, and this is my first morning news show. Yeah, let's just get straight into the news. So, the first thing I want to talk about is my potential recording schedule. So, this is just a quick update on the channel, just a few ideas I have for what I want to record and what I want to do with the channel. I'm not going to do every single one of these. These are just ideas. If I were to do something every single day, what would be a good day to do it? It's a pie in the sky kind of thing. The first thing I wanted to get off the ground, this puppy right here, my morning news show. For the morning news, I want to keep it plain. My interests, just try to go over the news that I've seen in the past 24 hours, go over a few of the big updates, of course, anything in tech, and stuff like that. It's not going to be anything too intense. We're not talking like MSNBC style stuff here or whatever your preferred trusted news source is. All I mean is that it's just going to be a quick rundown of some stuff that's going on. If I miss the big articles, I miss the big articles, but I'll try to get them. I want to report the right stuff. If this becomes your like morning source to get those kind of updates, that would be awesome. And so I do want to get you the correct news. But at the same time, it's going to be mostly news that interests me, and then hopefully, that interests you too, and you'll keep on coming back and checking it out. A few other shows I had. I've always wanted to do a frugal show, talking about different ways to save money in IT. And when I say IT, I mean the whole encompassing thing, from gamers all the way up to Cisco networking, not Cisco specifically. I just mean to that intense level of expenditure you can get into, because I have some experience there, and I also have tons of experience down in the custom built computers and things like that. Yeah, where'd my mouse go? My mouse, it done oh. The mouse was on the screen, so in XSplit, I saw it in front of me and thought, why can I not move down? Anyways, so yeah, the Frugal IT show, it's exactly that. It's going to be trying some kind of weekly tip about how to save money, things like that, all that fun stuff. On to the next one is going to be the Tech Showdown, which, again, the days here are just possibilities. That doesn't mean, it's going to be Friday, going to be Thursday, and doesn't mean I'm going to do all of these or any of these. It's just ideas of things I want to do. I might come up with different ideas. I might combine everything into one nice big variety show. Probably not, but that's where I am at the creative level right now, is who knows what's going to happen. Okay, so Tech Showdown is going to be something simple initially, simply because I don't have the funds to do anything more advanced. It's going to be extremely simple. As in, we find two products that tend to clash, like maybe the AMD X processor and the Intel X processor, and we look at benchmarks and reviews and real life tests and pricing and quality. We figure out what are the aspects we're going to compare. We figure out what is the scoring methodology that each product will get. And then we try to give as objective an opinion as possible as to which is the better product. And as we know with computers, there doesn't always tend to be a better product. It's like, oh yes, the GTX 980 is clearly the top of the line, because even if you went up to a Titan, you only get this much performance gain, and you know computer parts. Sometimes one part is drastically better than another. Sometimes a part is drastically better than another, but the other benefits to that other part are varied and situational. And anyways, I would try to take that show and go down those routes and everything and see what there is. The next thing is my favorite show. This is almost guaranteed to happen. I've been working on setting it up. You can see some systems back there. That's actually my work system right now. But that's my test bench back there. I guess it would help if I did this. Ooh. So that's my test bench back there, aka a shelf from Home Depot that I turned into a test bench. And what we're gonna be doing here at Origosis. It's so weird to call myself a place, but it is a channel, so my name is anyways. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna find games, modern, new, old, all kinds of different games, and try to get them to run on the oldest equipment possible. And, you can't just take, okay, yeah, here's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and it runs on this, not that, not that, not that. Not something like that per se. I would try to run it and see what happens as an example, but I'd want to find games that have a chance of running on that older hardware. There's this chance with the right mods or the right editing to the config, or getting it to run in a 240 by 320 little window, and it works. Oh my god, it works. Look, I can play Skyrim on my 5-year-old netbook and at 10 frames per second, and you don't care. You're happy because you couldn't play Skyrim otherwise. So even at 10 frames per second, awesome. Or just for the sake of science, hey, look, it runs. Look, Skyrim's running on this 5-year-old netbook. No? It is, things like that. Just trying to get it to run for fun, for science, and trying to rate that on its usability case. So not only would I try to get it to run as best I can, then I would also rate the game on how easy it was to get it to run on old hardware. Okay, I had to just drop everything to low. Easy as shit. Good to go. Oh, I had to edit the config. Okay, not super easy, but still pretty easy. Editing configs tend to be very easy in most games. Others can be more difficult for various reasons. Did I have to mod it? Okay, now that could make things more difficult, so it's a bit more difficult to get the game to run. And then you got stuff where it's like these heavy mods, you go in and you adjust stuff and you replace DLLs and all this other kind of stuff. Not a lot of games let you do that, but it does exist. Skyrim, I think, is another good example of something that's heavily moddable. So heavily moddable games in general are going to be a part of this. But the things like that. Anyways, the other thing we're going to do is the build of the week, which is... This is the least likely show to occur, but at the same time, it could still happen. And essentially, it's week 1 of the month. We put together a frugal build. A build frugal could mean under $300, and we try to construct some system that follows that. And we'd have criteria for the entire month. It's like simple criteria. Gaming machine. Okay, frugal. Week 1, we got to build a gaming machine that's under $400. And then maybe try to set other criteria, like this machine should be able to run this, yada, 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 things like that. Anyways, that's the show I have the least amount of planning in, but it'd be something along those lines. Anyways, that is it for the channel updates. Now I want to go over to some of the news of the week, which, no. It's a good thing I didn't switch over to that. Yeah, I don't want that to show up. Anyways, as everyone knows, Google announced Project Fi. So, for any of you who don't know, Project Fi is Google's cell phone service. Now, right now, they are just piggybacking off of, well, I'm not sure actually, but what I hear is it's Sprint and T-Mobile. So, when you get Google Fi, your phone will be on Sprint and T-Mobile. Not really at the same time, but essentially it'll go, who has the better signal? Sprint? Okay, I'm going to use Sprint. Oh wait, no, T-Mobile's getting better. Okay, I'm going to use T-Mobile. And it's also going to use Wi-Fi calling right off the bat. So you're in your house, you make a phone call, you're on Wi-Fi, you walk out, it sees that there's a good Sprint signal, it switches to Sprint, and then you're driving down the road, Sprint signal starts to get weak, but T-Mobile's is there, switches over to T-Mobile. Now, I know it'll switch from Wi-Fi to cellular, nice and smooth. I don't know for sure that it switches between the different cellular networks. Anyways, that's the idea behind it. And also, of course, as is often the case with Google, not always, but is often the case with Google, the pricing. The pricing is either really, really cheap with Google or something about it is just right. And of course, that is a matter of opinion. So, but right now, my opinion is they've got a good situation here. If you're an unlimited data user and you really do like hit 5, 10 gigabytes a month, this may not be the service for you. But if you're a moderately heavy user, I always thought I was a moderately heavy user and I never go over 2 gigs, but I never watch videos on my phone. I'm always doing data stuff on my phone, tons of data, browsing websites, looking up this, looking up that, but I never watch videos or do any of that intensive stuff. So I'd say I'm a heavy user, but not an extremely heavy user. Or maybe you call me a light user and that's fine too. It's subjective, I guess. Anyways, $20 for the basic plan. $20 gets you unlimited minutes, unlimited text. It says it all right here. Low-cost international calls. And when you go to another country, you're covered without any additional fees to your calling, I think. And your data is... I want to say your data is slightly limited. No, I think you still get all your data, but you're limited to 3G speeds, which they said it's 256K, I believe, which is... not the fastest, but it's not the slowest either. And of course, what's really nice is it comes with Wi-Fi tethering. So if you get this plan right here, $20 a month plus $10 a month for 1 gig, you can tether that data. You don't need to pay extra to tether that 1 gig. You get that gig, period. Now, it also charges you more and more and more based on how much you use. I assume they have some way to cap it so you don't get charged too much. But you don't need to come in and say, oh, I need this. Give me the $90 a month plan with 7 gigs. You can do that, and there's a good idea behind that too. You just come in and say, give me this plan, and if you go over the 1 gig, they just charge you another $10. $10 per gig, $10 per gig. It just keeps on going up. But let's say you come in here, you get the 7 gig plan, and you only end up using 500 megs. I guess you're really, over planned for that month. But hey, now what? You only use 500 megs, but you paid for 7 gigs. What happens? Well, you paid $70. You only used 500 megabytes. That's $5 worth of data. You get a $65 credit. I don't know that you literally get the money back. It is almost definitely that they just credit your next bill, but they credit your next bill with the unused cost of that data. $65 back on your bill. So that's pretty cool. So you're not rolling over your data, but in a sense you are. You're rolling over the cost you paid. So you can come at this plan in either direction. Buy the cheapest one, and then it just charges you more and more. Or buy the one you think you're going to use the most, and you're not wasting anything, because if you don't use all that data, you get a refund. You used only 6.5 gigabytes. Okay, here's $4 or $5 credit on your next bill because there's a $4 or $5 worth of data you did not use. I think I had some more stuff I wanted to say about it, but I can't remember. Oh, this phone number here. I'm going to give this a quick call. This is a pretty neat little thing they did. Oh, you know what? Anyways, hold on. 404-978-9316. So we're going to give that a quick call. Hopefully I don't blow anyone's eardrums. Give it a moment. Here it comes.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
So yes, if you call that number, Google plays a nice little joke by playing that song for you. So, give it a call and go ahead and check out that Easter egg. I don't know what happens if you keep listening. Maybe later on today I'll call it and just listen until it disconnects me or something. Anyways, the other news I wanted to go over is some of the new releases of computer parts and things like that. But you know what? This episode is already running long. So I'm just going to stop there with the news and do the one last thing. This one's weird. I may not keep doing this, but I figured maybe I'll do this. So I also wanted to talk about my ideas for losing weight. I am, though it doesn't show up on camera, it doesn't show up really much at all because I'm good and tall, which is awesome. I'm about 60 pounds overweight, and I want to lose that weight. So I'm thinking about different ways to implement that. There's tons of ways to lose weight. Eat less, period. Eat less and run. Boom, you lost weight. So losing weight is technically simple. There are a billion ways to do it. Almost every single method works if you stick to it. Of course, there's much logic that says, well, if you don't stick to it, it didn't work. So there's a lot of logic and discussion behind this. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you about my plans for weight loss and health are right now just 2 very basic things. Well, technically 3. This third one's kind of big for me. Just eating less. Eating less, and I'm going to try and steer towards the low carb thing. And then there's a lot of reason behind that. Maybe I'll talk about that in tomorrow's episode. The other one is just getting out and on my bike more often. I like riding my bike and everything like that, but I almost never get out because I always find an excuse not to go. So just a little bit more exercise each day. Again, not huge steps, just little minor steps I want to take. And then my biggest one, this is probably where a lot of my calories come. Also, a lot of the shape to my body probably comes from this. I recently read that these kind of carbs, not to bash carbs if you're a carb lover, I don't mean it like that, but these kind of carbs is what cause a gut. Beer. I drink beer at night. Oh God, I love beer. Anyways, cutting back / getting rid of beer completely from my diet is one of my plans. So those are my 3 basic steps I'm going to take to begin my weight loss journey, if you will. And you know what? I'll try to come up with charts to show and try to show the meals and the calories and things like that. If that's of interest, that kind of turns this from a news show into a vlog thingy. But I'm trying to feel what I want to do with this show. Anyways, we're already running long, so I'd like to thank everybody for coming on by, watching the show. Have an excellent morning. Enjoy your coffee, and that went focusy. Enjoy your coffee, and I will see you tomorrow morning.